Yeah, I am. I'm pleased, but it is just a start. There's a long way to go. A load of games to play. Certainly over this sort of winter schedule. Need a bit of luck with injuries, and we need to keep a focus, keep a concentration the way we have been in the last 4 games, and hopefully we'll start climbing the table.
Yeah, Maidenhead, Gateshead fans saying it's one of our best away displays in recent years. Even Maidenhead saying they're the best team we've seen this season. So, as a manager, that must be nice to hear going into Saturday's game.
Yeah, I mean it is nice. You hope to be better next game though. You know what I mean? It was a good performance. It's nice to hear things like that. But for me, I look at the performance, things that we've done really well, how we can replicate that on Saturday. Things that we didn't do well, which there were a few. We weren't clinical enough on the break when we had good chances. They still slipped through us 2 or 3 times, which I think wasn't an ability thing. It was just a concentration thing. Dan was called in to play and done his part great, but there is still things we can work on. And even though it was a fantastic performance, there's no guarantee that the team will be the same again, because as I said, I think there's things that we can and need to do differently against a very good opposition, Tranmere.
You've made changes to the starting 11 every game. I'm not saying name your lineup for the weekend, but are you a manager who's not scared to change a winning team?
Well, as I said before, until I find a performance which is nigh on perfect, which I very much doubt many managers will find, then I think there's always room to shake things up. As I've said a number of times, we've got 15, 20 very good players, outfield players, and when we do change the side, it's not at the detriment of anybody or the team. That we're bringing in players who have maybe had 2 weeks without a game, who are fresh as daisies, hungry, ready to go back in, and it's maybe the right thing to do. Let alone the performances, it's maybe the right thing to do for the team.
And it sort of epitomises that we're all in this together mentality you're looking for.
Yeah, the lads know that. That was one of the big things when I first came in: the togetherness, a strong dressing room, everybody backing each other, and we've had that so far. Even when people, no doubt, they're not happy. I was never happy when I didn't play, but they've reacted in the right way. They've got behind the lads who are playing. They've trained properly the next week, and most of the time they've forced their way back in the side through the way they've trained. I've said to them, training is very important. I want you to train as you play. I want you to take everything in training as seriously as you do on a match day, every little thing, because they become habits. Concentration levels and things in training just become a habit, and hopefully we're going towards that. But we've got no doubt about how tough a task Saturday is going to be.
At the moment, it must be difficult choosing your best 11 for Saturday.
As I say, I wouldn't say I ever try and choose my best 11. I choose the 11 I think will be best for that game. So that's what we'll do on Saturday as well. We've looked at Tranmere. We watched them last night. We've had them watched the week before. I know all about them. I've played against them many a time. I played about 5 times against them last season. There's much of the same personnel. Some very good footballers for this league. Cook, Norwood, Norburn. Just very good footballers, and last night's performance will have hurt them. So I've got absolutely no doubt they'll come out fighting. Great quote from one of my favourite coaches in sport, Jim Telfer, was there's nothing more dangerous than a wounded animal after a game. I'm talking about the Springboks, he was, but that'll have hurt Tranmere last night, and they will be coming out firing. There's absolutely no doubt about that. So we're in for a tough task, if not tougher, because of last night.
Do you think Tranmere's quality isn't really reflected in the league position at the moment?
I think they've been compared to ourselves, as in the squad. The squad doesn't reflect the league position, but I've said to our players it does, because you are where you are because you haven't won enough games, and that's a simple fact. There's no point in boasting a really good squad of players if you can't get results. So that's probably what myself and Mick have got in common. We're both trying to turn that round.
How's the squad looking going into Saturday fitness?
A couple of little niggles from last week, which we're hoping everybody's going to be on the pitch today. So as I know now, I think we've got again a fully fit squad to pick from.
Right, it's a quick turnaround for Bauer. Is that going to be in your mind, or is it just a one game at a time?
One game at a time. I mean, had the cup draw. We enjoyed the FA Cup, but no doubt about it, our priority is the league. You know, our priority is getting up this league and hopefully somewhere along the line getting out of this league. So that's the priority, and you can't do that by concentrating on a game a week down the line, 2 weeks down the line. You concentrate on getting 3 points on Saturday. I set a target for the 4 games between the 2 cup games, where I think we're capable of. The lads know it. Obviously, I'm not going to announce it, but we've done the first step of that. Now Saturday is the chance to make the second step of that positive.
Yeah, last time you had a Saturday, Tuesday, 2 long away trips. At least now it's two home.
Yeah, I mean long journeys for the opposition as well. So we've got a bit of a feeling what we have to go through every away game. So yeah, as I say, it's a case of worrying about us. We know, again, we're going to have a game plan that'll be different to Saturday's game plan because they're a different type of side. We're at home, and if the lads execute the plan the way we want them to, and be as diligent without the ball as they have been, we're hoping for a positive result.
Where do you see Tranmere's main strengths?
I think they've got very good forwards. They've got very good. I mean, I've worked with Ollie Norburn at Macclesfield. If you give him time on the ball, he's as good a passer and a striker of the ball at goal as anybody in the league. Norwood's a very good footballer. Andy Cook is a huge handful. The two wide lads that they've got on loan. They both got very good ability. And they've got players who haven't been featuring, who are, they'll be a lot stronger when they come back. But I don't, I'm not sure whether they'll be back in time for our game.
So, pre-season they were tipped quite heavily to do very well this season, to be where they are. It must be a surprise, as you say, you know them so well.
Yeah, I mean, no disrespect, I'm not particularly worried about what their expectations were. Mickey can answer those questions. I'm only worried about Gateshead.
When you look at the squad now, you've been here, I think, 6 weeks. Do you feel you're getting to grips with what you've got in the dressing room? Do you feel like you know the players a bit more now?
Yeah, I do. I've everything I've asked them to do in training on a daily basis. They've tried the best to do. It hasn't always worked straight away because a lot of it's new. So the stuff that we need to work on, we work on again and again till we get it right. The first couple of games was basically just about seeing them in a match situation, because it's totally different to watching them out on the training pitch and watching them out on the five-a-side. There's things certainly at Buxton and Eastleigh which I felt needed addressing, and I think we've probably gone somewhere towards addressing that. But as I said before, we've not put in, and you probably never ever see a perfect performance, but you want to try, and as a coach and a manager, you want to try and get as close to what you think that is as possible.
A couple of long journeys have both victories. Noticed at the end of both games at Lane or Maidenhead that the players made a point of going to the supporters. Is that something you've tried to bring in?
You know what? I believe that's the right thing to do anyway, but I haven't needed to because the lads have done that. The lads' respect for the fans and the efforts that the fans put in, certainly two very long London trips coming up to Christmas, coming up to a busy spell. The lads don't need me to tell them who to go and thank after the game. They do that on their own accord, as do I. But they were absolutely astonishing against Maidenhead. That's all you could hear. They never stopped, and they can be a huge help to us between now and the rest of the season. Can't emphasise that enough. As any manager will say about their own supporters. But as I say, they've certainly made the 2 last away games very, very enjoyable.
I would just like to ask you, Steve, if Newcastle and Sunderland fan, Gateshead bang in the middle, as you would say, right? Obviously near Newcastle. Would you like more fans, Newcastle fans, to come and maybe use Gateshead as their second team?
I'd love that. We just want more people through the gates. We want more for a number of reasons: to support the players, to support the club, to help the club out. It's a lovely club, and we're doing our best, and it would be great. But I'm not gonna. I know exactly what the North East's like. I know the passion's there, but I'm not. you know, people's hard-earned money. I'm not going to sit here and tell people to spend the money on this, that, and the other. All I'll say is if you like your football and you want to, you know, you want a good day out, you could do a lot worse than come watch us on Saturday.
And are you pleased to be back in the northeast? You've been away many years.
Yeah.
Now, you know, you leave here and you go home and stay at Newcastle. You don't travel down the country. Are you getting used to that?
Yeah, no, it was just like riding a bike. It was as soon as I came back, I was greeted by a load of my old schoolmates who I've always kept in touch with. I've had a chance to catch up with everybody. I've still got family here. My brother's here. My mum and dad are here. The in-laws are here. Got a load of mates from the game who I haven't seen for a while. You know, Alan, Stoney, Lee, Blackie. So yeah, I mean, it's been great catching up with everybody because it's always been a quick 24-hour visit and then off again. But got myself set again now in my new place, and yeah, looking forward to it immensely.